space pirates. This is your captain, the effortlessly effervescent Dr. Disaster, and The Acolyte is out now, folks. You could watch it on your own, but before you waste time that you can never get back, you should probably hear how it's being received by the audience.
That was terrible!
At the time of this recording, the show is getting absolutely blasted by the audience, with a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. In fact, the scores on this thing look an awful lot like what we got with the Rotten Tomatoes on The Last Jedi. The audience hates it, but the movie critics are predisposed to support a show like this. After all, it's directed by an openly queer woman and stars a woman of color, and all that other crap that Lucasfilm brags about as a shield to divert criticism. More than that, this is a show made by the corporate overlords of these critics. It is their job to woke-splain to the rubes why this show is actually good. But unfortunately for the bigwigs at Disney, the critics seem incapable of making The Acolyte sound very good at all.
Sounds broken.
Most likely, sir. I'll bet it was something nice, though.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But let's look at the reviews for this hot mess. We will start off with Rotten Tomatoes, currently sitting at 88% for the critics. That might sound good, but anything less than 90% for them is awful, because most of these guys will write that they like it no matter what. If you find any dissent among the big mainstream outlets, then that means the show is bad with a capital B.
I can't lie!
Julian Roman of MovieWeb gave it a 2 out of 5 and wrote, Star Wars The Acolyte unfortunately lives up to the hype as a series that will divide fans. Problems lie in the plot's execution, overall vision of the characters, Star Wars universe, and puzzling inconsistencies in the use of the Force.
Agreed.
James Dyer of Empire Magazine gave it a 3 out of 5. Somehow, that is recorded as a positive score, which tells you everything you need to know about that 88% Rotten Tomatoes score, but he wrote, while it might be unfair to hold this broader Heartland series up against Andor's edgy, adult-oriented outlier, The Acolyte so far is not the bold stride forward we had hoped for. And Sam Adams of Slate wrote, the show pulls back from its most audacious possibilities in a way that suggests the heavy hand of brand management, chipping away at anything that might rock the boat.
I am a machine.
We in the fan base have been saying this for a while now, that anything Disney puts out feels sterile and unrelatable, like a cold, emotionless robot. It's nice to see a critic pick up on that. But anyhow, Rodrigo Perez of The Playlist wrote, the texture of what Headland is toying with in The Acolyte feels like it requires a deeper level of sophistication that might be slightly out of this series' reach. Once again, somehow that's counted as a positive review.
Sure, Jan.
And then Mike Hale of the New York Times said, beneath the familiar trappings, the visceral pull that Star Wars can summon in its best moments doesn't manifest itself. Characters speak in platitudes about loss, grief, loyalty, and revenge, and the cast mostly works down to the level of the dialogue.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
But now let's take a look at The Acolyte's audience reactions now. As you can see, it is currently sitting at 48% as of the time of this recording, and what they wrote is an absolute bloodbath. This person said, as a reader of the High Republic, This was disappointing. I'm sorry to say that Vernestra Rowe is misunderstood. The costume, makeup, hair, and set designs were atrocious. Where did the $180 million in budget go? The music is just terrible and tries to copy the prequels. Props to them for creating new planets. However, are they fresh, new, and inventive? No, not like Andor or The Mandalorian. The action and choreography was okay. There was no emotion behind any of it.
Oh no.
And then this person said, I don't even know what they are trying to accomplish with this show. It's dry and boring. Loved Andor, liked Ahsoka, but this, just no. Here's another one. Star Wars The Acolyte falls short of expectations with its uneven pacing and superficial character development. Despite attempts to blend a murder mystery with classic Star Wars elements, the execution feels disjointed and lacks the darker tone required. Amandla Stenberg's performance is inconsistent, and the fight scenes, though numerous, often feel out of place. While the practical effects and stunts are commendable, they can't compensate for the show's overall lackluster storytelling and forced world building. Let me get this straight. The woman who used to get Harvey Weinstein's coffee, who was hired by the woman who used to get Steven Spielberg his coffee, you mean to tell me this person isn't a good storyteller?
This is quite a shock. On the other hand, it's not surprising in the least.
Maybe they should have hired writers who actually know and like Star Wars, instead of purposely hiring someone who doesn't give a shit about the franchise. But what do I know? I'm just one of the thousands and thousands of people who have been openly predicting this outcome for years now. But let's look over at Metacritic, where things are looking even bleaker for the show. They are currently sitting at a critic score of 69 of 100 and a user score of 3.3 out of 10.
Well, that's f***ing not good.
Let's look at a few of the audience reviews over here. Another example of Disney destroying their IP by making it all about identity politics and DEI/ESG. They have no respect for past characters and the lore. This is the epitome of everything wrong with the industry. Disney deserves their self-inflicted destruction.
Bingo!
Star Wars is officially just a pet project for 5% of the population. Rejected actors, writers, directors, and producers have a new home. The fan base has been forgotten. Disney should be rebuilt from the bottom up. I found Ahsoka really bad and confused. This one is even worse, an attempt to brainwash. Vote with your feet. I canceled my Disney Plus account yesterday.
This is the way.
Yeah, the critics are largely doing their best to make this show seem interesting, but I just do not think they're capable of bringing people back to this franchise. Star Wars is toast. Actually, it was already toast, but the Acolyte is turning it into burnt toast, with a turd on top for extra shitty flavor, and another turd on top of that, making it just unappealing enough that even some of these critics do not want to risk their own credibility defending this crap any longer. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think of these reviews in the comment section below, and let me know, are you planning to watch the show, or are you making the prudent choice and avoiding the hell out of Disney Star Wars?
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.